Hello guys, in this video we demonstrate the maneuver we learned in PPT before, which are slow flight, steep turns, and stalls. So let's start with the slow flight first. We are going to focus on how to manage the airplane just above the stall speed. So slow flight is important because this is the airspeed range you experience during takeoff, landing, go around, and while flying in the track pattern. It helps student pilots understand how the airplane behaves when it's slow, high drag, and close to the stall, okay? And during this demo, pay attention to a few key things. First, focus on the outside picture. The nose will sit noticeably higher than in normal cruise flight, and learning that side picture is very important. Since this is a simulator demonstration, the outside picture may not perfectly match the real flight, but the concept of using a consistent outside attitude reference to maintain airspeed is still the same, okay? And also, you need to remember the relationship between pitch and power. Pitch primarily controls the airspeed, while power helps support your altitude, okay? And last, because we are flying slow with relatively high power, the airplane will also wanna yaw left. So coordinated right rudder is very important. Okay. Okay. Let's get started. So we will start with clean slow flight first. Since this is a simulator demonstration, we will assume the PMF, pre-maneuver flow, and clearing turns have already been completed. The maneuver begins from a stable cruise condition around 90 knots, 2300 RPM, 2200 RPM for this simulator. Anyway, well, and above 1,500 feet AGL, I've already said it. And from there, just you need to do first is, smoothly reduce power to about 1500 RPM. And I'm not touching my yoke. Just wanted to see like what my airplane's attitude now. See, my aircraft is sinking now, and not to lose my altitude, what you're doing is gradually pitch up. Okay. And keep checking your performance instruments. And if you see my airspeed indicator over here, my airspeed is bleeding off right now. See, right? And I don't want to lose my altitude, so I'm gonna keep pitching up to maintain 8,000. Okay. And my target airspeed is 48 and 58, so I'm gonna add some power now, like around like 1900 RP, 1900. Okay. And I need like more power to reach the 8,000 for now. And I don't wanna lose my airspeed, so lower the nose a little bit. All right. Add some power to climb 8,000. Great. I still wanted to maintain the airspeed. Just a small correction. So 8,000 approach it. Okay. And reduce back to 1900 RPM. Okay, and keep coordinated. Okay. Yeah, just a small correction, small adjustment needed, and gentle control. You need to remember. And pitch for airspeed, power for altitude. That's all you needed to do this maneuver. Okay. Yeah, great. And if you see my outside picture now, see the horizon now matches my nose of the aircraft. So this one would be my visual reference outside picture. Okay, I'm gonna reduce my airspeed. So I'm gonna pitch up more, and I don't want to go climb, so I'm gonna reduce my power. So power for altitude, pitch for airspeed. I don't want to lose my airspeed, so lower the nose. Just keep doing like this. Small adjustment. And go back to the outside picture to maintain the strain level with. Okay. If you set it correctly, then trim it. Okay. Great. And just keep maintaining this attitude of your aircraft. I'm gonna increase more power around the 1900 RPM. Great. A small correction. And keep checking your performance instruments and the outside picture. See, the horizon matches your nose. A little bit slight higher. Okay. Alrighty. Cool. And if you do, when you're doing this clean slow fly, then your DP or instructor wants to climb. So let's say we go climb to 8,500. Then which control instruments do you need to climb? Yes, it's a power. So you are adding up some power to go climb. Let's say like 200. Yeah, see the VSI and altimeter, right? It's increasing now, and you don't wanna lose your airspeed, so lower the nose a bit. And if you go steeper climb, then you need more power, like this. Okay. Then VSI trend changes more, and you don't wanna if you wanna increase your airspeed, lower the nose, keep maintaining it like this. Okay. If you wanna go steeper, more steeper, then steeper, then yeah, add more power. Cool. And keep maintaining your heading bug here. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's all. And now we are 8,400 and approaching to 8,500. So now I'm gonna reduce my power back to 1900 RPM to maintain at 8,500. Okay. All right, great. And maintain your outside picture, which is horizon matches my nose for this simulator setting. Okay, great. And let's say we now go below 8,000. So, which means you're gonna reduce your power setting. Okay. And you don't want to lose your airspeed, so that means you need to lower the nose to keep maintaining between 48 and 58 knots. Okay. And this one also the same. If you want to like steeper descent, then reduce more power. So everything is the same as the climbing. Okay. And if you just slow the airspeed, if you want to slow the airspeed, then pitch up a little bit. If not, then just lower the nose to maintaining it. So that's all. Pitch for altitude, pitch for airspeed, and power for altitude. Okay, and it's that's all. And it's approaching to 8,000. So now I'm back to my power setting to 1900 around here. Yeah, great. Yeah, that's all. And let's say if your instructor wants you to turn toward 210. Is it 210? I can't see it now. 218. Yeah, let's say 218. Then just a small banking, like 15, around 15. So here's a 10, and here's a 15. And pitch up a little bit. Reduce some power. I don't want to climb. And that time, just back to the normal. Yeah, that's all. And then for to recover, first one is full power and slowly pitch down to straight level position. Okay. keep trimming it. Recovery steps pretty simple, right? Just full power, and yeah, back to the steering level position. And keep trimming it. Yes. And it's around 90 knots on my airspeed indicator, so I'm gonna reduce my power back to 2200 RPM in this case. Yes. Great. So this one for the clean slow flight. Okay. Alright, now we move on to dirty slow flight. The entry starts the same way, but this time flaps are added as the airplane slows down. And from the stabilized condition, reduce power to about 1500 RPM and maintain altitude while gradually increasing pitch. As the airspeed decreases, extend flaps and schedule according to your POH. In this example, that means flaps 10 below 110 knots and flaps 20 and 30 below 85. Once stabilized in very slow flight, the airplane will have noticeably higher nose attitude, more drag and more sluggish controls. Because of the extra drag, it usually takes a little more power, around 2100 RPM, to maintain altitude, while pitch is used to hold the airspeed roughly in the 40 to 50 knots range. Okay, cool. So let's begin. And first step is reduce your power about like 1500 RPM and checking your airspeed below 110, flaps 10. And when you touch your flaps, then be careful of not to be airborne, because the aircraft will be easy to airborne. And below 85, flaps 20, below 85, flaps 30, and add the power about like 2100 RPM or 2200 RPM. Let's see how it's going. So I'm gonna reduce some more power. And checking my flaps, 30 now, okay. I don't want to lose my altitude, so I'm gonna add some power around the 2100 RPM. Great. Okay. I don't want to lose my airspeed, so lower the nose, and I don't want to descend, so power up a little bit. Great. And trim it. Cool. So checking your outside picture. So the horizon is kind of like my horizon matches a slightly lower of my top of the magnetic compass. See? So this would be your outside picture as a visual reference for steering level. Okay. And for now, and let's say you wanna go climb to hold on. So control your aircraft first before doing something, okay? Because you're gonna be PIC doing the check ride. All right. So let's say altitude. We go climb to 8,500. So which means you're gonna add up some more power and coordinate it. Okay. Now this is my full power now. So let's see if we go climb or not in this simulator. It's very slow, but it's climbing. Okay. Just keep holding here, because I've already set full power and the full flaps setting, and because of the weight, that's why it's really slow to climb now. Well, let's say just we go climb to like 8,200, right? Cool. Oh, it's very slow. Yeah. And now I'm gonna reduce my power to like 2100 RPM because it's approaching to the desired altitude. I don't want to lose my airspeed, so I'm gonna lower the nose a bit. I need more power. A small adjustment, small adjustment, small adjustment. And keep remember pitch for airspeed and power for altitude. Okay. Great. And now let's say we descend to 8,000. And now reduce your power. And lower the nose, not to lose your airspeed. Great. Yeah, just keep holding it over here, and this will be your outside picture for descending. If you go, this one is the same. If you want to go like steeper descent, then you're gonna reduce more power. Okay. So now it's approaching. So I'm gonna add some power for steering level. That's all. Yeah. That's easy, right? And now let's turn to let's turn to 340, right? 340. Okay. So just a small, like a gentle bank entry, and pitch up a little bit, not to lose your airspeed, and add some power, not to lose your altitude. Let's back to the heading, then yeah, recover it to the original heading. Yes. Checked and trim it off. And reduce the power. And keep maintaining over here. Great. Yes. And to recover from the dirty slow flight is more disciplined. Smoothly just apply full power and control yaw with right rudder, and then retract the flaps to 20 degrees. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is full power and flaps 20, and waiting for 60 on your airspeed indicator. Keep maintaining the altitude. Now flaps 20. Now it's a full power. Just waiting for reaching the 60 knots. I don't want to climb. Lower the nose. At 60, flaps 10. Above 60, flaps up. Great. And just back to the original setting for steering level. So now it's reaching to 90 knots and reduce power to 2200 RPM. And send my attitude picture for the steering level. That's all, right? Great. So the main goal of this maneuver is to develop smooth aircraft control and coordination and a better understanding of how the airplane behaves near the stall. Well, the biggest things to watch for are not enough right rudder, over controlling, chasing altitude, forgetting to add power, and rushing the recovery. And be careful of pitch for airspeed and power for altitude. Okay, awesome. All right, then let's demonstrate steep turns and focus on how to maintain smooth aircraft control while the airplane is under increased load factor. Steep turns are an important maneuver in private pilot training because they help pilots develop better coordination outside visual reference control and overall aircraft handling. During this maneuver, the airplane is banked to about 45 degrees, and which increases the load factor and requires the pilot to actively manage pitch, power, and coordination. As the bank angle increases, the lift vector tilts, and part of the lift is used to turn the airplane rather than hold it up. Because of this, the airplane will naturally try to lose altitude and sometimes lose airspeed if the pilot does not add back pressure and a small amount of power. So, during the maneuver, the most important thing to focus on is the outside visual picture. The horizon and cowling reference should remain consistent throughout the turn. At the same time, maintain coordination with rudder and avoid over controlling the airplane. Okay, so let's assume the PMF and clearing turn done, and I'm gonna pick my outside visual reference for maintaining heading. It would be this pick, the third one. Okay, this one would be my outside visual reference, and just slowly enter toward the 45 and pitch up and add some power. Just keep banking. Yes. Yeah, hold it here. Yeah, just keep turning like this. That's simple. And the horizon matches now here over here over my cowling. And lead roll of heading like a half bank angle, so it's gonna be like 25. So now I see my visual reference here, right? And we cover around here and reduce power back to 2200 RPM. Yes. Cool. That's all. So for recovery, what I've done is just reduce power and lower the pitch and also trim it off as fast as you can. Okay. I'm gonna do a right steep turn, and my outside visual reference would be the same, the peak over here, and just slowly entering the bank towards the 45. And watch out your coordination. I don't want to go climb. So pitch, lower the pitch down. Yes. Just keep holding here. Alright. Great. Cool. And now the heading approaches. So you can see my visual reference over here. Right? Right. And then reduce the power to 2200 RPM. I've already trimmed it off. And back to the original setting. Like 8000, 90 knots, and straight level. Yes, it's the steep turn. So well, the goal of this maneuver is to maintain smooth, coordinated control of the airplane while keeping altitude, airspeed, and heading within ACS standards. Okay. Great. All right, let's move on to power on stall, which simulates stall that may occur during a takeoff or a go around. During these phases of flight, the airplane typically has high power and high pitch attitude, which increases the wing's angle of attack. If the angle of attack continues to increase beyond the critical angle, the wing can no longer produce enough lift, and airplane stalls. So the goal of this maneuver is to help pilots recognize stall cues early and recover safely while maintaining control of the airplane. And to begin the setup, smoothly reduce power to about 1500 RPM and maintain straight level flight while allowing the airplane to decelerate, and continue slowing the airplane until the airspeed decreases to approximately 55 knots, which is close to the rotation speed used during takeoff. And once stabilized at that slower airspeed, smoothly apply full power and begin raising the nose to increase the pitch attitude, which is FMS nose here. So I'm gonna set my horizon near around the FMS knob, depending on the situation it's going. Cool. And yeah, as power is added, left turning tendencies will try to yaw the airplane to the left. So coordinated right rudder is important to keep the airplane balanced while climbing too. Okay. And as the airplane approaches the stall, you'll typically hear the stern warning horn and may feel aerodynamic fatting from the wings. When the stall occurs, recovery begins immediately, like lower the nose and full power, okay? Cool. And then VX, VY. And back to the original setting, okay? Cool. Okay, then let's start. So, my outside visual reference would be this peak, okay? Cool. And then the first step is reduce power around 1500 RPM, so slowly reduce the power and maintaining the altitude. Keep maintaining the altitude. Okay. And in my airspeed indicator, you can see my airspeed is bleeding off. Okay, right? Cool. Just keep like this. Keep holding like this. Okay. Alright. I don't want to lose my altitude. So I'm going to pitch up gradually. And 55, full power. And pitch up. And watch out for the rudder. And set your horizon around the knob. FMS knob here. Okay. Can you hear the sound? Can you hear the ring sound? That's the stern warning horn. So at the time, you're gonna call out like a stall, 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 then recovery, like lower the nose and full power. Okay, cool. So now stall, stall, stall. So I'm gonna reduce the power. I lower the nose, and gaining my airspeed, and setting to VX. VX attitude picture, and then view. Once stabilized, and back to the original setting, which is 8,000. And in this case, I'm gonna descend to 8,000. So the nose, reduce the power. To go back to 8,000. Okay. That's pretty simple. You've already set full power, so the only thing for the recovery is just reducing, lowering the nose. Okay, that's all actually. Just show them keep coordinated. This is approaching to 8,000. Bring back your power to 2200 RPM. For this simulator, usually it's gonna be 2300 RPM. Cool. Yeah, this one for the power on stall. It's pretty simple. So the key focus during this maneuver is maintaining coordination, recognizing stall cues, and performing a smooth recovery without losing control of the aircraft. Okay? Awesome. Alright, we have last one, which is a power off stall, which simulates a stall that can occur during approach and landing, and particularly during the base to final phase of flight. During the landing, the airplane is typically slow, configured with flaps, and flying at a higher angle of attack. So if the angle of attack increases too much, the airplane can stall. Practicing this maneuver helps pilots learn how to recognize and recover from that situation safely. To begin configuring the airplane, reduce power to about 1500 RPM while maintaining straight and level flight. Extend the flaps 10 degrees and allow the airplane to slow to approximately 77 knots. And also make the track pitch, right? And then it slows to about 75 knots and extend the flaps 20, maintain around the 70 knots, and then just extend the flaps 30 and stabilize around 65 knots, which is similar to a normal landing configuration. To induce the stall, bring the power to idle and gradually increase the pitch attitude, similar to performing a landing flare, but slightly higher in order to increase the angle of attack until the airplane stalls. So the normal landing flare pitch attitude is VY, but I'm gonna set it as VX. And as the stall approaches, you'll hear the stern warning horn and you may feel buffeting from the wings. Okay. At the time, you need to recover, and recovery begins by reducing the angle of attack and gently lower the nose to break the stall, while simultaneously applying full power and retracting the flaps to 20 degrees. Once the airplane begins accelerating and becomes stabilized and also flaps 0, then pitch up to VX, then transition to VY. Okay. Just while climbing back to the original altitude. Great, and let's begin. So first step is reduce your power, like 1500 RPM, and checking your airspeed below 110, flaps 10. Just simulating the landing, okay? And make your pitch to 2x pitch here. Alright, great. And 75 knots, so below 85, flaps 20. And you need to be careful, like when you touch your flaps, then the aircraft is very easy to be airborne. So what you need to do is pushing forward the yoke, okay? So, and then 70. So below 85, flaps 30. And pushing forward your yoke. Make the 65. Alright, now we're in the show final, okay? Great. Now we're in the show final. And the next step is the power idle and gently pitch up to VY, actually. So, power idle, we are landing now. And now landing, flare. But I'm gonna set it as a VX now. You can hear the stern warning horn, right? Stall, and lower the nose. Full power and flaps 20. Okay. And pitch up to VX, and also hold on. We need a 60 to retract the flaps 10, right? So at 60, flaps 10. Great. And waiting for the positive rate of climb. So we check the positive rate of climb, and above 60 knots, flaps up. Then make your pitch to VX. Okay, great. VX, then VY. Alright. Change my setting. VY should be my one is my VY attitude picture. Great. And the next step would be just to keep climbing to the original altitude, which is 8,000. Okay, that's all. So the main focus of this maneuver is recognizing the stall early and maintaining coordination and performing a smooth and controlled recovery while managing the airplane's configuration. So yeah, we learned everything, like slow flights, steep turns, and stalls. Okay, so that's all for today, and thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.